Hey guys, you're watching You One and Only. My name is AJ. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Build a Cruise Ship. Really starting to come together, isn't it? We're starting to get a lot of features that we can really clearly see what it's going to look like once it's complete. And so far, I'm very happy with it. Today, I want to work on the back. I want to pretty much use what we've got as like a sort of point of connections, if you like. What I want to do is I want to pretty much join up where this corner is here, and I want to sort of round it off in a sort of nice sort of gradual curve up to there, and then I want to have a diagonal line from here going up there to that corner. And that's the sort of shape that I want at the back. Now, I researched into a lot of cruise ship rears, and there was a few different designs. One of them was a flat back design, which didn't look right. It looked lazy. It looked like if you built it in Minecraft, it's because you weren't good enough to do it in a curve. That's just what it looked like. There was actually quite a cool one where the wall would sort of come out and then curve round and go back down that way, and then the middle would be empty for walking around in and stuff like that. There was a few different designs, but I really like this one. That's the one that I've been saying since the beginning that I wanted to do. So it shouldn't be that hard. First off, I suppose we should find the middle point, which isn't there. I don't think that's the middle point. I'm trying to do this by eye here. This is not the easiest thing to do. That might be one off. The bigger the area becomes, the harder it is. I'll tell you what we'll do. We're going to do it properly. We're going to grab just a colour, and I'm going to make sure that I don't get this wrong. Oh, let me turn my volume down. Wrong way. I just deafened myself. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That gives us this point, which is the middle. Beautiful. That's how you do it properly. That's one of the quickest and easiest ways to find the middle of a very straight line. Just sort of working by either end. Don't go all the way across, because that's not going to help. But just going slightly from either end until you get to the middle. It makes it very easy. So what we want to do here is we want this to drop down and sort of curve back. I don't know if I want to curve it back fast or slowly or very gradual yet. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go bang in the middle, and we're going to sort of try and do a very gradual turn. And then if we don't like it, we can back off. If we don't like how it's going to look, we shall just edit it. But you need to sort of have a starting spot first, don't you? So we'll do something like... I think that's still too sharp. That. Something like this. I'm going to keep going down. It doesn't really matter too much under the water, but you just want you want to at least go all the way under the water. Once it's under the water a certain amount, you can't even see it, so it doesn't really matter as much. So that's the sort of curve that I've got so far. You know, I sort of like that. I think that's pretty good. Now, it's a very similar technique on doing the back than it is on the front, but the back's an awful lot easier because the pattern becomes very simple that you need to replicate. All you need to do is make a load of sort of semicircles, basically. So we're going to make some semicircles here, starting off with some like a square that comes out, and then sort of drop this back. Very simple. This isn't as hard as what you might think it is. Like that. Like that. Oop, get over a little bit. There. And we might even be able to make it even bigger. But basically, you want to do that sort of pattern. And keep doing that pattern for each level. And you'll find that it sort of will curve around the boat by itself. It's very clever. Maybe I can speed this part up. I'm going to try that. I'm going to keep building, and I'm going to speed it up in like a little mini time lapse, and I should be back. Okay, so that was really cool. As you can see, we just from either side built these curves until we sort of got to this middle point where the curve needs to go in both directions. Now, for some reason, some people get a little bit confused with this part. It's actually really simple. All you do is curve them both in the same direction, in the different directions. So you come down this way with this one, and you curve down this way with this one. Now, as you can see already, we're starting to fill in the this middle section sort of automatically, like you don't have to do anything for it. These types of builds always sort of end up finishing themselves when you get to a certain point. So we just come down here to there, and then we come to this middle point again, and we come down here like this, and we go back to the middle point, and we make sure we come down the other side as well. And as you can see, we've sort of built it. It's built itself and finished itself off. It's not perfect. Obviously, at the bottom there, we're looking a little bit square, a little bit cubish. But if we go to the side here, we've got this curve that we wanted. It looks a little bit lean of a curve at the moment. By that, I mean a little bit too slow of a gradient. But then we've got to remember that it has to go under the water a fair bit. If we smoothed it off to a 90-degree corner, so it sort of came down and then went straight that way, like this curve is, if you had it like this, the boat would be sitting on top of the water instead of in the water. So it's something to sort of bear in mind. Also, haven't done the very bottom layer because obviously that's going to be red. That's got to be coloured in red, doesn't it, you see? But let's just sort of fine-tune this a little bit, because it is looking a little bit square. So we're going to just move a few of these blocks around a little bit. Like that. That's gotten rid of that horrible square part that we had at the bottom, and I think that's pretty good. It's such a big boat that you can't really do much wrong with it. It'll always sort of make a curve, no matter how sort of scrappy you are with it. It should do, at least. It should do. So I think the next layer, what we want to do is see this line here that drops back a level. I think we want to keep that pattern going all the way around the boat, even around the back as well. So it'll give us a little bit of a sort of lip, a little bit of detail. When we're using this much white, it's very important to try and get as much minute detail in as possible. Otherwise, it all blends into each other. It's not as noticeable if you use a color. But when you're using white, it's very easy for that block to be the only one that stands out. So you need to make sure you get this detail. Now with the next level, this level goes back again. So the windows go back once more off this level. But on the back here, I actually want it to go back out onto this level. So I want this line to continue on over like this. And then draw this line again on top. That way, when we look back at it, we get this sort of darker shadow line underneath. Just adds that extra layer of detail, that extra focal point that your eye can sort of grab, and because it looks different to the rest of the boat. You want as many of these as you can, really, to get rid of the whole fact that the whole boat is white. But let's face it, if you've done a giant red boat, it probably isn't going to look that great, in my opinion. I don't like giant red boats. So this shouldn't be too difficult now. What we're going to do is we're going to grab a sort of section like from there to here, just this one layer, and we're going to slowly make our way up to there. Well, hopefully not too slowly, at least. What we want to do is gradually but diagonally. So I don't want it to slowly go up and then curve round. I don't want it to curve in and then go up. I want it to be a constant diagonal straight line. Not necessarily 45 degrees, but a diagonal line nonetheless. So I think what we're going to do is, it doesn't look too far off being 45 degrees. I would say 45 degrees from there would take us to about here-ish. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go up every 2 blocks. We're going to go in one every 2 blocks that we go up. So I'm going to stand right here, and I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go up 2 blocks in 1 block, and I'm just going to paste it here as a test one. So that would be every 2 blocks we go up one. That looks about right. So let's go here. No, oops, if you're doing this by hand, it's no problem at all. It's very, very simple. In fact, you're just building exactly the same exactly the same curve, just over and over again. And like I said, 2 blocks up, 1, 2, 1 block in, and then you do it on that layer. Because as you can see, the block below us changes to white when we do that. 1, 2, and over here. And I'm really interested to see how close we're going to get. We seem to be heading in the right direction. It's just sort of a nerve-wracking moment to see how far you are off. The closer you are, the less modifying you need to do. If you're really far off, you need to do a fair bit of modifying in order to get these two matched up. So I'm very sort of interested to see how close my guess was. Seeing as though that we planned out the size of the ship on episode 1 without really knowing what we were going to put on the boat, I'm not going to be too upset if we're miles out. We haven't modified the actual main ring of this ship at all. We never extended it. We never made it smaller. We never made it wider. I think we sort of had it nailed from episode 1. I keep doing that. We're going to be really, really close. Not too many more now. Only like 3 more. There's that one. Whoop, don't jump again. I'm holding shift like a madman. I don't know. I build more in survival than I do anything else. More in survival than anything else. I build more in creative than in survival. Do you know what I mean? And I hardly play any survival. However, whenever I'm up high or whenever I hear mobs, I always freak out. It's not my fault. Okay, beautiful. So we were pretty close. If we come over here now, as you can see, we were a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks. The boat ended up being 6 blocks too short to be perfect from what we've done here. But obviously that isn't part of the plan, so what we're going to do is we're just going to bring this one back. Or that's not a necessary part of the build. So all we're going to do is actually bring this back by a few blocks here. And instead of it being, to there, we'll just drop it down here instead. That one, that one. That one. That one. That one. Does it go all the way under? No, that would be right. That's right. There we go. Take these ones away. Put this one down under here. It's going to be such a tiny difference that we're not even going to notice. That we've shrunk this by one. Shrunken isn't a word. I know that. There we go. Okay, so we just moved that back just that tiny little smidge, and then these little slits will join up perfectly now. Obviously, each slot does not represent one window. Our windows are mostly, are they 2 or 3 blocks high? I think they're mostly 3 blocks high, aren't they? Yeah, these are 3x3 windows. This is a 3x3 window. That's a 2 high window. And then this is a 4 high window. So, how do we want to do the windows on the back? It's starting to look cool on the map, man. It's only the inverted version of the boat, though. As soon as we get the top of this boat done, it's going to look absolutely sick on the map. I also want to have a look at it in our overview as well pretty soon. So, I think what we want to do is I could fill in all of these gaps really simply, actually, just by going up a block and pasting again, and then doing it there. That fills in all the gaps, making it easiest for us to see where exactly we want the windows. Beautiful. Oops. Beautiful. It's a nice, easy way to do it. So the sort of gap one was a very quick way of getting ourselves to where we needed to be, and then this one is just sort of filling in the gaps. Like making a rough model first, and if it's wrong, it's not quite as much work to take away. Nearly at the top. I can tell by the map. Dump. And we're at the top. Okay, so there is a completed back. Now, I think we don't want windows to sort of flow all the way around the back. We want to have a solid structure of white somewhere. That's looking really cool. A solid such structure of white, I would say roughly to this line here, and then start on the windows. But we want the windows to be on the same height as these windows here. I also want some of these to have a balcony, maybe the top levels again. That would be pretty cool. So windows start on this level about, I'm going to say here. And I think a 3x3 window would probably be the nicest. So we'd have a 3x3 window there. How many blocks between each window? I got one on the side there. What would one... I think one would look a little bit too flimsy. So I'm going to do two. I'm going to do two like that. So we're going to have one window, two window, three window, four window, five window. And that means when it flips around, that one's going to be the middle point. We might change that bottom, those window designs, later down the line. When we fill these windows in with glass, of which I don't know yet, I still have been going through your comments to see the reasons why you think certain blocks, but I want to have like a sill on the top of some of these as well. Obviously, we don't want to use oak wood planks or oak wood slabs or anything like that, because that's what we're using for the balconies. Or is that birch? Oh, it's birch wood. Either way, we don't want to use a wood because it's going to sort of confuse the look of it. We want a different block. What have we got under slab? So we got like a really nice... See, that could work out nice. Like this, just 1, 2, 3. It just adds, similar to what we done here, making this block look grey by making it into shadows. This is doing the same thing, but is actually a grey block. It just focuses your attention towards the windows, makes you think that, oh, there is something there that I need to look at. So I think we want to do those windows again in line with these ones, which is on this level right here. 1, 2, 3. That goes all the way along. And then this level right here, which is in line with this one. Now, these ones are only 2 blocks high. There'll be a 2x3 window. I don't know if I like the sound of that. I think I want all the windows on the back to be the same height. We've got 3 blocks. 1, 2, 3 before the next window starts. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to keep the 3x3 windows on the back. And I think we're going to do one more. So 3 blocks up again. 1, 2, 3. Take out this line. Oops. To go in right there. Beautiful. I don't think I want any more up, because what we're probably going to do is see how we've got this type of detail down the side here. I want to have some sort of detail going around the top. I don't want it to be just boring and flat. It could be something as simple as a nice chunk of white, which is probably what we're going to do. I think coming off here, maybe 3 blocks high. And for the moment, I'm going to keep it sort of square looking, and we can always change it up afterwards and sort of make it a little bit more smoother and rounder. So basically, I'm going 1 block wider at the moment. It will go up more than that, I think. But this is going to be like a... it's not like a spoiler. It's not like a finish. It's just mostly for detail. But it is sort of... It would act somewhat like a spoiler, I would assume. The top is going to be really... I'm really excited to get to... For getting to the top of this. This is, well, obviously all the swimming pools and the tennis courts and all that kind of stuff are going to be. The jacuzzis, but you can't just skip to the top. You can't do the top first. You need to get all the height up around all the other sides before you can get anywhere near the top. Otherwise, you're just going to end up getting it all wrong and then having to change it all. And nobody wants to break down their build after they've done so much work on it just because they got excited and done something too early when they shouldn't have. So I'm going to take it nice and easy and get there when we get there, and then enjoy it when we do. Because I'm really enjoying this part at the moment. So, I think I want it to come back a little bit more than that. I'm going to add 1 more block. And then it'll be a total of 2 blocks back from this level here. See how this is 2 blocks underneath? You want to continue that all the way around. And we'll have a sort of nice way of capping off the back of this build. You might notice that I've only done half of it. I do mention this, I think, pretty much every episode for people that are new or missed it or whatever. I'm only building half of the boat because I should be able to quite easily copy, flip and paste half of the boat to fit the other half once the outside is complete. Just to speed things up, just because I do these videos for YouTube, for you guys to watch. I can't spend forever just building. I just haven't got the time. I think if we sort of draw this line going down here, and then have that one sort of matched to that looks pretty cool, right? Yeah, see how that just sort of finishes that top off really nicely? Just caps that off perfectly, doesn't it? So we've only got this last little gap to do, but unfortunately we are out of time for this episode. But we've got a full sort of length, complete planned out boat now. From this point, it's going to come together very quickly, and we're going to get a lot of progress done in the future episodes. If you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe. We shall see you in the next episode.